Butte police are questioning a woman after they found her sleeping in her vehicle with her dead infant.
A fourth hunter hurt by a grizzly bear in just about a week in exactly the same area. What FWP are looking into exactly?
Good morning to you. We'll get to Cody Boyer's story here in just a moment. We're coming up on 6:30 here on your Thursday. I'm Missy O'Malley with Chet Lehman. Matt Elwa has our iffy forecast here in just a moment. Right now, as John Amy mentioned a moment ago, a 30-year-old woman in Butte is being questioned by police after she was found asleep in her parked vehicle yesterday morning, along with her dead 5-month-old daughter.
MTN's John Amy has the latest details on the case that still has a lot of unanswered questions.
Butte police are investigating the death of a 5-month-old child who was found in a car that was parked here at this intersection of Alaska and Granite Street. Now, police say there are a lot of unanswered questions to this very tragic incident. The incident began about 8:40 in the morning Wednesday when police officers noticed a car parked in this area less than a block from the police station. It was running and the car doors were locked.
And attempted to wake the female up, and as they did that, they realized that it appeared she was laying partially on an infant who was also in the vehicle. At that point, they decided to break a window out of the passenger side of the vehicle, and when they got to the infant was not breathing and had no pulse.
Police also found the mother's son sleeping in the back seat. Now, the 2 or 3-year-old child is fine and has been taken to family services.
As far as the whole circumstances, as far as why she was there and how she came to be there and how long she'd been there, but at this point we're not sure, and that's something we'll be working on over the next couple days.
Now, the mother is still being questioned by police as of Wednesday afternoon, and no charges have been filed yet in this very tragic incident, which the sheriff said has been difficult for officers involved.
You know, there's a little bit of a cloud over the department today because of this incident, and everybody's disappointed, and especially those officers who did CPR. They're a little distraught that they weren't able to save the child, and that's understandable.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
John tells us police are waiting on the medical examiner's report on the cause of death for the child. No names have been released in this case pending notification of family.
Tough story there. Matt joins us now, and beautiful afternoon yesterday. The sun was shining. You said get out, so we did, so thank you for that. Today,
Because we hang on every word.
You know what? Whatever you say. But he also did tell me to get my coat out yesterday.
I'm just trying. Don't shoot the messenger, right? You said the forecast stunk, but no, the forecast is good. It's the weather.
You're right. You're
She didn't quite listen. Still wearing those flip-flops.
Yeah,
sorry. This morning you'll want that jacket. Temperatures into the 30s and 40s. The wind is going to be the biggest issue as you head into the afternoon. Clouds thickening up. I'm trying to get you out on it.
That's good. I appreciate it.
Leading right past that. Bozeman planner, gusty winds and scattered showers this afternoon. Some of those showers could be heavier through the afternoon, early part of the evening. We're going to keep an eye on that and, of course, keep you apprised. But the big changes coming this weekend. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Showers from a fire hose. That's what that's going to be. That would be awesome.
Wonderful.
There we go. That's it.
Now let's get back to the local scene. Officials from Fish, Wildlife, and Parks are investigating another grizzly bear attack in the Gravelly Mountains.
Wardens confirmed that this happened between the Coal Creek Drainage and Eureka Basin roads, only a few miles away from where 2 similar attacks happened last week.
MTN's Cody Boyer has the latest information.
They have nothing to lose to come chew on us. They can kill you.
A similar setup to a similar terrifying situation.
This hunter was walking through some downed timber when he was attacked by a bear at a very close range.
Like in last week's attacks, the hunter was prepared.
During the attack, he shot at the bear several times with a pistol. The bear subsequently left.
Morgan Jacobson with FWP says this all happened 8 miles south of Cottonwood Creek, where last Monday, 3 hunters were injured in 2 different attacks, only 11 hours apart.
Wardens and law enforcement personnel with the U.S. Forest Service were able to respond fairly quickly to yesterday's incident because they were still in the Gravelly Mountains.
Jacobson adds it is still unclear if this was the same bear or more.
Bears are moving into what we call hyperphagia, which is a period of time when bears are more active on the landscape. They're consuming more calories in preparation for hibernation.
The hunter was treated in Sheridan and released, but the series of attacks has outfitters like Roundhouse Sports Center in Bozeman talking.
The mawings that we're seeing aren't where the bears are eating on them. It's just a quick fight or flight response.
The staff here at Roundhouse say having a good, strong, reliable backpack out there with you can also go a long way in protecting you in more ways than one. That way you can actually have your bear spray right here on your chest, easily accessible, so if you're forced into a ball to protect yourself, you can activate the bear spray and spray it right over your shoulder.
Roundhouse manager Ryan Merkel adds that traveling in groups is still the way to go.
Always have a backup plan.
And with Montana being Montana, Jacobson says these 4 hunters are very lucky.
Encounters like this are unfortunate. It is the reality in living in bear country.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Wow, wow, wow. Ooh, that's some scary stuff right there. Now, the U.S. Forest Service is now working with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks to see if they need to close down any parts of that location where those attacks have happened.
Be careful out there.
Be careful. That is a great idea. Have your bear spray accessible.
Know how to use it.
I was saying to Chet yesterday on my hike, I was just clapping the whole time. Oh!
And no attack.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, now.
We'll get the hiking song in just a moment. Meantime, new this morning in some court news from Treasure State, a second suspect has appeared in court in connection with the death of a Helena man whose body was found last week.
MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has the latest update on that suspected homicide case.
On Wednesday, Dwayne Johnson made his first official appearance by video in Lewis and Clark County Justice Court. Both he and a co-defendant, Serena Kilsheimer, have been accused of 2 alternative charges in the death of 56-year-old Shane White: deliberate homicide or accountability for deliberate homicide. Court documents say Johnson admitted to detectives he attacked and killed White with a knife, and that he said Kilsheimer was also present. The Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office says authorities found White's body last week in the area of Cave Gulch Road, north of Canyon Ferry Lake. An autopsy showed he had blunt force and sharp force injuries. Prosecutors say White's family reported him missing last week. Family members told investigators they last saw him September 8th with Johnson and Kilsheimer. According to court documents, a security camera showed the 3 traveling toward Canyon Ferry in White's truck, and a GPS monitor Johnson had been wearing showed he went to Cave Gulch. A witness told deputies Johnson later returned White's truck, but they did not see White. Court documents say White had testified against Kilsheimer and Johnson in a dependent neglect case. Johnson's bond was set at $100,000. Kilsheimer's bond had previously been set at $75,000. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
In other news here on your Thursday morning, there are hundreds of white crosses that stand next to the highways throughout Gallatin County and even across the entire state.
Yeah, those are American Legion fatality markers, and lately the Legion has seen more and more of those markers covered up. American Legion Post 14 here in Gallatin County says obstructions like this, even in memorial, are not what the posts are for.
Each post stands as a symbol of where someone has died on a highway crash and where the Legion says a safety issue needs to be addressed. The Legion works alongside Montana Department of Transportation to maintain those and adds, if you want to put something up, feel free to do so, but just not on those markers.
We at the American Legion appreciate and understand that people grieve, we all grieve. We've lost friends, we've lost relatives. Traffic accidents are especially heinous, and that's one of the reasons that we have the markers up. And we're possibly setting somebody else up for an accident.
Harback says if you see a sign that is covered, don't try to take off those decorations yourself. Just report it to the American Legion Post 14.
6:38 now, and some Mining City headlines. Economic officials in Butte are working to raise money to convince a second airliner to fly out of Burt Mooney Airport.
Now, members of the Butte Chamber of Commerce and the BLDC say they are on the way to raising $400,000 for a revenue guarantee to try to get a second flight out of the airport. Now, some of the funding does come from a $1 bed tax fee for those staying in local hotels. Other fees are provided by local contributions.
I know they're working hard. I know that we're sending out a lot of information. A lot of partners have come forward, individuals have come forward, businesses have come forward, and so it's going very, very well.
By the way, right now Butte has one flight a day going to Salt Lake City. City leaders are hoping also to add a flight to Denver.
Also new this morning, Yellowstone National Park is getting a new chief warden.
Yeah, Sarah Davis, 20-year veteran of the Park Service who is currently working the Natchez Trace Parkway, where she has served in law enforcement since 2012. She's a native of Lexington, North Carolina, and a graduate of the FBI National Academy. She expects to move to Yellowstone by mid-December. Davis is just the 18th person to hold the post of Chief Ranger in the past 100 years.
Wow, she is no slouch.
Phenomenal, and I do believe the first woman to hold that position
That
of Chief
is
Ranger.
incredible.
So.
Very warm welcome to her when she arrives.
Absolutely.
Well, we do have to take a quick break. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Thursday. Let's take a look ahead.